the best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to UGA Sports Georgia Players section here with Tavares and Noshawn. Cheers, fellas. Cheers.
Yeah.
It is a great night to talk Georgia football, to talk SEC football. We're going to be joined shortly by former two-time SEC Coach of the Year, Houston Nutt. He's going to be on here talking with us, just giving us perspective of a former SEC head coach with all the stuff we got going on. But guys, how are y'all doing? We're just gonna chop it up here. But how are you guys doing this week?
So we doing good. We doing good. Sauce, how you doing? I see you feeling real good. That boy got the chest out.
Oh, okay. Can't have a little something,
Yeah, your boy got the chest out.
The sun was out today.
Oh, that's what it was. Sun came out.
78. It'd be out all the time, but it was really nice and sunny today.
Yeah, my boy got the chest out. You know what's funny about the chest outness? Look, I almost cut the sleeves of this shirt and came on here.
Yeah, right.
I promise. So we was just gonna be on here.
Bro.
just getting the sleeves going.
Yeah.
What made you stop?
Well, you see, I probably should have did a few more curls this morning. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna
Who's
leave
in
these.
the chat today?
We're just gonna leave these.
Speaking of doing a few more curls, I know you guys wanted to talk while we're waiting on Coach Nutt here. I know you guys want to talk some current events. It seemed like the Lakers might have needed to do a few more curls because old Joker gave him the business in game one now.
Listen, first of all, this guy should be at the game. All of them. Yeah, tomorrow. You need to be there. And then secondly, I don't get it. They ain't gonna shoot like that again. They ain't gonna shoot like that again, bro. They couldn't miss. They couldn't miss.
The Nuggets play really well at home, you know what I mean? And they shoot well. Once they start shooting well, they can get hot. And they undefeated at home right now, you know what I'm saying, during the playoffs. So, I mean, Lakers almost got it, though. I was impressed. I thought they was. I don't think LeBron should have shot that three with 40-something seconds left. He should not have shot that. Just take it to the lane. What up, Andy? But yeah, man, he should have took that thing to the lane and got the foul, make it a free throw kind of game. So I don't know. But it's gonna be a great series.
He did try to step into one. I was like,
yeah.
But I mean, it's the king.
No doubt. We got our guys Brett Womack in here, Donnie Wilkerson's in here, Mitch H is in here. He says he's always like Coach Nutt. Yeah, hey. Houston Nutt, cool guy. We're looking forward to talking to him. He'll be on here with us in a minute. Lionel Hutto is in here with us. Of course, our guy Andy, Low Country Dog, Tim Hope, everybody. Make sure to share with your friends right now. Tell them to tune in, watch. We're going to be talking about, during this show, we're going to be talking about the SEC in 2023. We're going to get perspective from Coach Nutt on just exactly how hard it is to do what Coach Smart is doing as a coach in the SEC and many more things. Got a little expansion talk, guys. There may be some around the country. There's some groups that are unsettled, maybe some new teams coming to the SEC before too long if they can work out these contract deals. So we'll see how it all turns out. But guys, one of the biggest news of the week as it applies to Georgia, and we'll talk about this while we're waiting for Coach Nutt. Dylan Raiola commits to Georgia, number one quarterback, close ties to somebody you're close with, which is Matthew Stafford. Him and Dominic Raiola played close together. He was the center. Raiola was the center for Stafford in Detroit. So, guys, that's a big pickup for Georgia. Number one quarterback, five-star quarterback coming in class of 2024. Did you guys get to watch any of him, and what do you think about that pickup?
Yeah, I watched a good bit of him when the hype was out that he may be coming to Georgia, and then obviously I think you posted a clip today that I watched, and that was just that was the most impressive thing. I think just seeing how he carried himself around his teammates. I think that's what you want to see in a quarterback. Just watching him, the charisma he carried himself with. Everybody gravitated to him, both coaches and teammates. Everybody knew. You could tell he's a leader. of that team that he's on now, and you can just tell it's on him. It's on him. So I'm excited to see, what he brings to the table when he steps into Athens.
Speaking of leaders, No Shot, we'll get to your reaction on Raiola in a minute, but we're joined by none other than our guest here, Coach Houston Nutt. He's head coach, 2-time SEC head coach of the year he was a coach at Ole Miss, coach at Arkansas. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining us. Three time. Oh, hey, I screwed you already. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Doing my research. I've been messed up.
Don't do my man like that now. Don't do my man like that.
I got you. Well, I do know you're in the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. I do know that you're also in the Arkansas Hall of Fame. So lots of kudos to go around, Coach Nutt. And we thank you for joining us this evening.
Hey, appreciate y'all having me, guys. Thank you.
All right. Now, Coach, wanted to start off right off the bat here with, since you have that perspective of so much success as a coach in the SEC, you know what kind of grind it is, and now you're an analyst for CBS Sports, so you watch all this stuff closely. Just give people an idea of just how difficult it is to do what Kirby Smart is doing at Georgia right now on all aspects of it.
When you look at the SEC, look at the NFL draft, look at the number of players that come from the SEC. Of the last 17 national championships, 13 come from the SEC. And so what Kirby Smart has done is just phenomenal. I have the privilege to speak with Jim Donnan a lot, and he goes and watches practice. And, I love what I hear, the way he goes about his business, the way that he practices, the way the players are bought in. And when you watch it, it's amazing. And I go back to this year, I thought, okay, they had so many draft choices, so many. And the average fan around the country is, okay, Georgia's lost all these guys going to the NFL. Their defense is going to go down. No. And to me, that's what coaching's about, where you're able to say next. You're able to say the evaluation of recruiting, and there's names that we didn't know about because they all went to the NFL. Well, guess what? We know about those names now. And it's just amazing to watch. When you watch offense, defense, special teams, what Kirby Smart has done, the way he puts together this team and how hard they play, it's just every weekend is so tough. And I'm partial to the SEC. And I've had a lot of people come to me in the airport on the way to CBS. They said, Coach, we beat an SEC team in the bowl game. I said, yep, that's great. Great job. You had 30 days to get ready. What I really want to say is, what do you think about playing Georgia, Alabama, LSU, and then come to Arkansas and let's see how we do. Let's see how we do in about 4 weeks.
Right. Right.
That's what's tough about the SEC, guys. It's the grind. Mm-hmm. It's the grind of it. You just can't take for granted a Mississippi State. You can't take for granted like going to Arkansas. You can't take for granted these teams because there's ballers. And I'm not saying, we're the only league in town. I mean, there's a lot of great teams in the Big Ten, in the ACC. I get it. But I've seen it. I've seen it for about 14 years as a head coach, and I've seen it as an assistant. Hey, it's the real deal.
Yeah, no doubt. 1,000%, it's the real deal, Coach. You alluded to some of the challenges. What are some of the exciting things of being, a head coach in the SEC? And then too, you add in things like the transfer portal and NIL. What are those challenges you feel like these guys have, leading, young men?
Yeah, that's a great question. Hey, and before I answer your question, I just want to tell you, I love watching you play. And I love the way you go about your business and the way you played, that you were such a difference maker. I really enjoyed watching you play, man. You were awesome.
Appreciate you.
It's a great question because the thing about being a head coach, that's my dream. I was born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas. And, the thing about leading a team out that tunnel, first of all, the tailgates around the stadium, they're full. The stadiums, they're full. Mm-hmm. And there's a passion about it. You know, that saying, I don't know if Greg Sankey made this, I don't know if he invented it, but SEC, it just means more. Hey, there's something to it now, because I watch some other conferences. There's plenty of seats available. And so when I see this passion, and they're there 2 hours before the game, and you take your team out, and especially on the road, there's this hostile environment. It's so real, and the passion of the game. And so you love that competitive spirit that everybody has. They're fighting for that SEC championship to get to Atlanta. It's unbelievable. And then, you know, you mentioned the thing that's different for me. I've been out of coaching now. I'm going on my 12th year. And I sit on the sidelines at CBS and I watch. It blows my mind now with the NIL and the portal that you brought up. The NIL, I've always been for the players to have money. Every time we went to SEC, I remember Coach Spurrier and I, Coach Saban, we voted, we want players to have money, whether it be in cost of attendance and all these things. The thing that I worry about now is this. I had a privileged coach. Let's just put my guy, Darren McFadden. Darren McFadden, if we were playing right now, he would have every commercial. Hey, you with me? He could have everything, car dealership. He could have all this. He could make over $1 million. But what I would worry about, and Darren McFadden's like this too, what about my left tackle who's blocking for me?
Right.
What about Felix Jones? Can he get his? What about Marcus Monk at wideout? I mean, I worry about the locker room of now. We're worried a little bit more about, I can get this deal. I'm not catching as many balls right now because I got to work on this deal. And I just worry about that part of it. And then you add the transfer portal. I understand. I've helped people transfer when it doesn't work out. I've helped players transfer.
Right.
But when you can transfer on the spur of the moment, I was at the Chick-fil-A, had the privilege to be at Chick-fil-A.
Coach, you cutting out a little bit there. I think you froze up on us.
Am I still there? Okay, good. He couldn't tee off, and we said, "What's wrong, Coach?" His Blitnikoff Award winner, Blitnikoff. He won a Blitnikoff at Pittsburgh. He's at USC visiting on May 1st. And he said, "Coach, I can't tee off. I got to work on this deal here." He's trying to keep his player at home, and so now not only are you coaches are looking at the portal. Hey, we need a linebacker. We need a wideout. Now you got to keep the ones in your locker room, right? Because they're coming after them. And so I worry about all that, guys. I worry about the state of the game from the money to portals. I worry about all that right now. But I've just got my popcorn on the sideline and a Coca-Cola watching. Because it's unbelievable.
Right. You know, with the whole NIL thing, I think that guys just have to remember the work comes first, and then everything else comes after that. So I mean, everything will come after that. Once you put the work in, it'll come. So yeah, I appreciate that insight. Exactly right. Certainly do. Sauce, I know you got some stuff for Coach as well.
For sure. My real quick question. I mean, you got some ties with Ole Miss and Arkansas, of course, and obviously, and we all know that Alabama and LSU right now are at the top of the West. My question was, do we really think that, in your opinion, can Ole Miss and Arkansas, catch those two teams?
Yeah. Well, the one thing I always say, again, I'm partial because I'm from Arkansas. I always felt like every third or fourth year, listen, we're going to get to Atlanta. I just felt that. And what's difficult is this. LSU could sign 25 from their backyard. And what I mean by that, they in their state. Alabama, Georgia, they can sign 25 from the backyard if they wanted to. Arkansas can't do that. Right. We don't have 25 top-notch SEC players. So what do? Well, you got to keep McFadden at home. You got to make sure he doesn't leave. You got to keep those good players, Sean Andrews, Jason Peters, all these guys. You got to keep the in-state, well, Jason's out of state, but you got to keep your in-state, Sean Andrews and all your great players, keep them in-state. And then you got to go out of state and be a great recruiter and evaluate. And for example, we went to Texas because we're 4 hours from Dallas. We go East Texas. And then now you're fighting Texas A&M. You're fighting those guys, but you're picking and you're evaluating hey, Texas may get this one, but we're going to get this guy. And so to answer your question, I always look at the quarterback. KJ Jefferson's coming back.
Yeah.
When you got the
Sanders.
point guard, yes. When you got the point guard, you got a chance. And to me, they've got to get more speed. And I think Coach Pittman's done a really good job. I'm looking at the portal, how many players they've gotten out of the portal here the last just couple of weeks. It's like, that's the thing that's different, guys, is, and this is why it's such a great question, is your team, you go through spring ball, but all of a sudden you may have 8 to 10, 12 new guys you starting over in August to put your team together. And so it's just a different deal. But to answer your question, I really feel like, injuries are so important, depth. But Arkansas is one of those teams where not every year, but I just feel like every so often when the stars are lined right, you get your guys that are running to the ball on defense, turning it over, winning turnovers, and taking care of it on offense. And then all of a sudden, hey, you're right there fighting for a championship. It's not easy because, like I say, LSU, Bama, man, they're tough. And so the Ole Miss and Arkansas, these are tough jobs, very, very tough. And so it can happen. It can happen, but it's got to be great job of recruiting, evaluating, keeping everybody together, and have a little luck.
Yeah, sure.
Well, in those regards, what about the East? I mean, you got Florida struggling over there. I don't know what's going on over there.
Right.
A lot of folks struggling, but Kentucky's coming in hot. My guy Blaine loves Leary over
Heisman Trophy.
My guy Blaine loves him over there. So you think anybody can catch the Dogs in the East? I mean, I don't know.
I think it's going to be hard. But again, that ball bounce is fun. I have two brothers that coach basketball. I have a brother that coaches University of Missouri. He's assistant with Dennis Gates.
What's his name?
And I always tease them. Dennis, I have another brother that played in the NBA. He's the head coach of Washington. And I always tease my brothers. I'd say, hey, your ball bounces up and down. Y'all real nice. Our ball, football, bounces every which way. So that ball bounce is funny now. And so all of a sudden you're looking up and your defense has gotten 12 turnovers, 15, 17, 25 turnovers, and things start to happen, man. And so those are the things. When you start to believe, that's when you achieve. But to answer your question, I think Georgia right now, man, just last year, Kirby showed me something because I really thought I didn't think they could go the way they did. I knew Stetson Bennett was solid. I knew Brock Byer. I knew the running back. But I thought defensively, really, with that many people gone, I thought they just can't stop people again like that. So I was dead wrong. And so that to me shows me he has this important word, guys. Next. He has the next player. Ooh, and to me, that's recruiting. And so I think he's your head and shoulders above. But you got to respect what Tennessee's been kind of down. I'm anxious to see what Coach Heupel will do now. But you lose a Hendon Hooker. He was 25 years of age.
That's what I'm saying.
Great wideouts. Tillman.
They got to prove it to us, Coach.
A what?
They got to prove it to us, though, Coach. That was 1 year.
You're exactly right. That's what I'm saying. Can they come back and do it? But they did wake them up. There's a lot of excitement at Rocky Top.
Okay, true.
No doubt. Coach, speaking of a lot of excitement, there's a lot of change going on in college football. You got Texas and Oklahoma coming in, and with your background and like you said, recruiting in those areas, and if I'm not mistaken, you even during your playing career transferred into the Big 12 and all that kind of stuff. So you're familiar with the Big 12. Right. Now you've got Texas and Oklahoma leaving that conference, coming to the SEC, and now you got these ACC teams that are even trying to get out of their deal. What is your thoughts about all the craziness and specifically Texas and Oklahoma coming in SEC in 2024?
I tell you what's amazing to me, guys. If I'm Oklahoma, if I'm sitting over as Oklahoma coach, and the AD comes to me and says, "We're going to the SEC." I'm thinking, that's the SEC's a big time conference. I understand the money, all that. Why? Why? What are we doing? Because remember now, Oklahoma, they got to the Final Four. I mean, they got to the playoffs. They got to the playoffs with the Big 12.
True.
Had good paychecks. So we're gonna go to the SEC. I don't know. If I'm over there, I'm thinking I want to play. And no disrespect, but I want to play Kansas State, I want to play Iowa State. I want to play instead of Georgia, Florida, LSU, Bama. I want to go. But I tell you, it's a superpower now because those two teams are brand names.
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma, guys, is a brand name. I mean, I grew up watching this Oklahoma-Texas game. I grew up watching it. It's unbelievable. Barry Switzer's and all this Freddie. I mean, I remember all these people. I go all the way back to Earl Campbell because I'm old. But I love watching these games that are real. So now you got two powerhouses. And guess what? They want to win. And they got money. It's just blows my mind from an Oklahoma and Texas standpoint. If I'm a coach, I'm thinking, "Ooh, I don't know if I kind of like it over here." But you're jumping into the superpower. This is superpower, and I guess that's where we're going, guys. I guess it's going to be superpower conferences, and that's why just what you said. Everybody's kind of jockeying now for position. Everybody wants in, starting with the SEC. They want in with the big boys because they're getting paid.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach, you coached some amazing running back, Darren McFadden, Peyton Hillis, Felix Jones. We had at the same time, Noshad was over there in the East doing his thing, 1,300, 1,400 yards. How much did you get to watch old Noshad when you were watching film in the SEC there?
Let me tell you something. I love Noshad. You know why? Because he's violent. He's a violent runner. And I don't like tippy-toe guys. If this guy wasn't no tippy-toe guy, boy, I tell you what, I love watching this guy because he would punish you. You know, the thing about Darren McFadden, he got better on his 15th carry, his 20th carry, his 25th carry. He got better, and that's what Noshad does. You get better as the ball gets to you. And I kept saying, let's get the ball to the man. Let's get it to him. And they're difference makers. They're total difference makers. You know, Darren McFadden, I'm partial, but he should have won the Heisman one of those years, guys. He's back-to-back award winner. He's back-to-back runner-up to the Heisman. And I'm partial, but I've seen him put us on his back, just like Noshad's done. He put our team on his back, and he went 80 yards. He's a home run hitter. And I wish he could have got a better, some better offensive line when he got in his career in the NFL, because I just think the guy's a special guy. And what I love, he's a great teammate. When we would come in on Sunday, first thing I do is watch the special teams with everybody because I want to see everybody covering kicks. I want everybody to line everybody. That's the first thing we did. He would come in and punch me and say, "Watch my block." He wouldn't say, "Watch my runs on kickoff return." He'd say, "Watch my block." And so I look up and he's blocking. Pancake. He's pancaking a guy for Felix Jones to break it. And that's what you love. The guy loves football. Yeah. And so I just have an awesome respect for running backs. Peyton Hillis was tough. Felix Jones was awesome. Madre Hill, Cedric Cobbs. Fred Talley was one of the guys, I think, pound for pound. He wasn't very big, but tough. Oh, he's so tough. And that's one thing I love about Noshad, the toughness. People don't realize how hard these guys hit and the toughness. They keep getting up and they keep falling forward.
Absolutely. Coach, you talk about passion. We can tell your passion. We got one question.
Got me hyped. Coach, you ain't thinking about going back into coaching? Coach, you might as well. Listen, you see them checks nowadays.
You give me a call too. You can give me a call too. I'll come join
I'll coach the backs.
I got you.
Hey, I missed that window of them big checks. We missed that one.
Shoot, I bet the staff would love to have you on staff or head coach, whatever. You can still do it, right, Coach?
Yeah, I tell you, I feel like I can. I always feel like on the sideline. I got to coach this all-star team up here, high school all-star game, and it's just nothing. I miss the relationships. I miss the relationship with the players. I was in that locker room. I went to that dorm room. We didn't have everybody under a dorm room when I coached. They were different places, apartments, condos. And so I would go there and they would know I would come on the 10 o'clock at night unannounced. I got to know what's up. I got to know what's going on because I was used to a dorm. I was used to players being under a dorm where we're all together. Well, I don't know who he's talking to. I don't know who he's I don't know who Darren McFadden's talking to. Who's his next door neighbor? I wanted to know. I want to know what's happening because, with Twitter,
that's awesome.
With Instagram, with all the world, there's a lot of distractions. And so you said it earlier, guys. You said it earlier. you gotta stay focused and work hard first. And it's easy to get distracted. Easy.
Yeah, no doubt. And Coach, one thing you talked about relationships. One relationship you're involved with right now is CBS. And Noshawn's going to ask you this question from Andy Stowe here.
What? Well, how does Coach Nutt feel about the SEC not being on the CBS? Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be weird, right?
I'm going to tell you something. I'm having withdrawals already. I'm having really withdrawals.
Really?
I mean, that's been our spot. That Saturday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern time. That's CBS.
Yeah, that's
it. That's CBS.
That's Georgia, Florida.
Arkansas. That's Georgia versus Alabama. It's LSU.
Georgia, Florida.
I mean, those are Florida, Georgia. I mean, that's just man. I'm going to miss it. That's one thing. I still can't get that in my mind. How that's not going to, we're not going to have that CBS relationship with SEC. I'm really going to miss that.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach, you're SEC legend, you're a class act, and we appreciate you taking the time to just spend it here talking ball with us. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah,
Coach.
We appreciate you.
Really appreciate it. You got me hyped.
It's been a pleasure. Well, I tell you what, y'all got me hyped. I appreciate what y'all do. I appreciate what y'all do for college football, So y'all keep it going, guys. I'm listening.
I love it. Hey, Coach,
Thank you, Coach
real quick, what's your handicap? I'm putting together a team.
Now.
I need to know.
All right, now look, you got to realize now, I got started late, okay? When I was a GA for Jimmy Johnson, he's the first one that said, hey, you got to learn how to play golf. I didn't know. Hey, I'm basketball, football, baseball. I'm on the asphalt. I didn't know anything about no golf. My dad did put 4 boys on the golf. But right now, I'm hooked on it. But I'm still about 18, 17. I'm not there yet. But, hey, there's 1 or 2 shots every day.
Keep it coming
That's
back. Yes, sir. That's what they're about.
I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there.
No doubt.
All right, we're going to get out there together. I love it. Thank you, Coach.
Let's do that.
Coach, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you coming on with us. Absolutely,
hey guys,
Coach.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. That is legendary SEC head coach Houston Nutt. Is so gracious to join us. Guys, what do you think about that interview with Houston Nutt? That was fantastic. And Coach, we appreciate you so much. We're very, very much coming on. But guys, what were your thoughts on Coach Nutt coming on with us to talk some SEC ball?
Shit, I want to play for him. Hey, bro, it's cool.
He gave me a feel like a Kirby Smart, like how Kirby would be, because Kirby would do something like that, pull up on you, which y'all doing in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out, coach. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he would be a great recruiter as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and just great insight, obviously, from somebody that knows the game, but just you can tell that passion for the game. Speaking about how he speaks about his players, you can tell he loves his players.
Yeah.
His past players, and just bro, he had me hyped, bro. Just talking about that camaraderie, that brotherhood. Those are things that you do miss. I mean, throwing blocks for dudes. I think you posted something the other day about Sean Chappis. Somebody posted something about you, not even related to Chap. You know what I'm saying? And you was like, "I see you, Chappis," because he took somebody out. So I mean, there's a little stuff like that you play back in your head, and when you see and you remember, you like, damn, that's just what it's all about. So that was a hell of an interview.
He mentioned his good friend Jim Donnan, who is here with us at UGA Sports. We have to give a shout out to Coach Donnan for hooking us up with Coach Nutt there. Greatly appreciated. Another SEC legend, and we'd love to have Coach Donnan on with us here sometime. But we don't want to make Roddy mad. Roddy has Coach Donnan on with him, so Roddy gets a little territorial. Coach Donnan over there.
Yeah. Share.
I'll think over here.
Share the wealth, Roddy. Yeah, absolutely.
On, yeah,
absolutely. But listen, that y'all were right. Just the passion that you see, and you see that out of a guy like a Kirby Smart now, the passion they have for the game, and that's what you have to have in this. You talk about being an alpha and being an ultra competitor. That's what brings it out of you here in the SEC. And to that point, coming full circle, guys, we were talking about Dylan Raiola, who committed to the University of Georgia before TK gave his thoughts. No, Sean, now that, we kind of were just biding time there till Coach joined us. Now, what are your thoughts on the overall number one player in the country in class 2024 committing to Georgia.
Yeah, man, he looked good. Looked raw. He looked like he can make plays, man. I love his size. I think he's 6'3" and some 2 and some change. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, 6'2", 225.
Yeah, he's a big kid. You know what I mean? So I love to see that size. He has an arm on him. You know what I mean? So I'd love to see what Kirby and Coach Bobo can do with another top recruit again. You know what I mean? The only one I can remember is it's Stafford, but I know Murray was one too, right? Was he a 5-star, Murray?
Yes, sir.
Depending on where you were looking, he was very high up there.
All right, but I just remember Stafford, baby. You know what I'm saying? Stafford coming in there, and so I'm excited to see what we can do with another top quarterback like Raiola. So we'll see what's up. I like him.
Speaking of a top quarterback, a guy that wasn't a 5-star, but a guy who I'm springing this on you. We didn't talk about this. Because this popped up right before we came on the show. This is one Mr. Stetson Bennett slinging that pigskin over there it's spinning on me. It ain't gonna show it, but I'll have to.
What the hell is that?
Come on, production.
Won't play. He's at rookie minicamp throwing dots. I mean, you'll have to go watch it. Go look at the Rams posted it on their Twitter. This man is hitting it downfield. Somebody called him old pop gun arm a while back. I think somebody on the Georgia beat said he had a pop gun arm. Dude ain't showing no pop gun arm. He's over there laying it down the field. So I think you're going to see big things out of Stetson Bennett with the Rams.
You think he's going to get his chance? He has to go through a couple guys over there, and then of course the man.
Well, I think he's got a great spot to learn behind Matthew Stafford, but the thing about Stafford is, and this, Sean, I mean, the NFL is just so demanding on your body. I mean, we hope and pray that Stafford stays healthy, but he's recovering from that injury and everything. So they knew they had to go get a guy, and their GM and Sean McVay seemed very confident in Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, but he still got to beat out, I think, 2 other quarterbacks. Didn't they get 2 in the free agency? You know who they are. I know you do. You watch them. Tell me who they are.
They only had 2 on their roster as of when they drafted him.
Yeah, I know that. But they went to free agency and picked up, I think, 1 more.
I'll look. I didn't see
y'all
that.
both watching it. You watching it for one reason. You watching it for another reason.
Well,
y'all hilarious.
I'm just saying.
Andy Stowe said, I watched the clip. He looked good throwing it. It's going to be wild when he wins the Super Bowl, too.
Hey, listen. Put it this way, and put it right here.
There the movie goes.
If he win that thing, he can have 2 movies. He got a sequel to that thing.
No doubt.
But
no doubt.
He has to go through some levels there to get in there. So we'll see.
Well, guys, our other.
You're right about that.
I like Stet though.
Understandable, but Brett, he got some games under his belt. You know what I mean? He got that experience, and he got an arm on him as well. He was here. He was with the Broncos last year. But, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No doubt. No doubt. Listen, we talked a little bit about
the Pathos. I do have a Pathos, actually, Andy.
Oh, you got one? You mean hit that?
Because I was thinking about this.
She don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
What is it? No, Sean. Lay it on.
He asked me to give them one. I was thinking of one. This was a couple weeks ago. And I was like, I'll save it for a rainy day. Oh. But my pathos was, I bet Will Levis will have a better season than Stetson Bennett if he gets the chance. And I think Will Levis has to go through way more than Stetson does.
You don't think the Titans
will has to go through 2.
You don't think the Titans will move on from Tannehill?
That's a tough question. I don't know.
They just went to back-to-back playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know if they
missed it last year, didn't they? With Derrick Henry, I don't think they were very good.
Yeah, they did miss it last year, but okay, before that too.
I don't know if they move on. Maybe, but then he still got to go through Malik Willis. So I mean, he still got to go through 2. I mean, that's not a big.
Malik Willis,
I think they off on him.
That's a pathos.
Malik Willis got to go through himself.
I bet. Yeah, he'll have a better season if they play equal amount of games. I think he'll have a better stats than Stats.
If I had a sound effect right now, I'd hit it and go wank wank wank.
If they both started the same amount of games, they both have.
I mean, I agree with you because Yeah.
But,
yeah. But
you don't think so?
No, I mean,
you
just gotta see. But I think the Titans have a better running game, obviously. So
okay.
so that helps you out.
Okay.
But you got Stetson throwing to Cooper Kupp and to Tyler Higbee. I mean, come on now.
You're right about that.
Yeah, a little different.
So that's up and pop those stats.
A little different receiver work out there. But we do got my guy Mason Kinsey up there with the Titans.
Habersham boy. A Raider. All right. So, guys, we talked at the end of that interview with Coach Nutt. I asked him about the expansion, the realignment going across the country. I wanted to talk to you guys about this report that came out about the quote-unquote Magnificent Seven in the ACC. 7 schools led by Florida State and Clemson that were trying to get out of this horrendous deal that's putting the ACC way far behind when it comes to TV money behind the SEC and Big Ten. The schools were Florida State and Clemson leading the charge, and then NC State, Miami, UNC, Virginia Tech. My question to you guys is, if those schools were to be able to break away from the ACC as SEC guys, which of those schools would you like to see enter into the SEC and just tell us for your reasons why?
It's 3 right off the top, just from like those reasons that Coach Nutt was saying, like they're brands. Give me Clemson, give me Florida State, give me Miami off the top. And then I don't know who else y'all want to throw in there, but I need them 3 if we doing it.
I think one of mine would be
Clemson in there?
Yeah, Sean. Yeah. Before I give my other one, who do you feel the same as TK?
Which one did you say? Clemson. Who else you said?
I said Florida State, Clemson, and Miami because they got. They got great brands.
Yeah, you taking away that whole.
Yeah, I mean we ain't taking shit. They want to come. we ain't taking nothing.
I mean, yeah, those are the best ones in their league, man. Their conference. I mean, yeah.
Who the fourth? We all agree on those.
I would like to see North Carolina. I don't know why I like the Carolina.
Well, that's the reason you get the fourth is because what they bring in basketball. You know what I'm saying? What North Carolina brings in basketball. And listen, the SEC has quietly passed the ACC in basketball over the last couple of years.
Oh, I don't know. Wait.
Listen. No, you go look at the level of play. The SEC was a way better league than the ACC was last year in basketball. So I think that's a big dynamic you have to take into play there. Of course, you got when you think about the baseball side of this thing, because listen, the conferences, they have to look at the revenue generated and the power of across the board, even women's sports and stuff like that, of how it all comes into play. And you know, UNC is really good at basketball and baseball. Florida State is good at basketball and baseball. Clemson's a good baseball school in addition to football. And, you know, probably NC State's biggest contribution to the SEC is sending our man Devin Leary to Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? So the truth over there to Kentucky. But I think that's if you could add those teams and go from 16 after Texas and Oklahoma comes into 20, I don't know that there would be a more powerful 20-team league, especially if you could find a way to get rid of Vandy and maybe bring Virginia in or something. You would have a really powerful. But I shouldn't do my man Clark Lee like that because he's doing work over there. He beat Kentucky and Florida last year.
They can have Vandy, really. And if that's the case,
Unc agrees with me on
that's
the
case. I think I'll bring in Duke. From the basketball perspective,
but Duke ain't trying to leave. Duke's just happy where they're at. They're like, we're happy. We're whatever. It's only these 7 that are trying to break out.
Listen, bro. All right, give me Virginia Tech.
Yeah, it's been a while, but man, now listen, we all know my feelings on old baby Beamer over there at South Carolina, but his dad was the truth at Virginia Tech. Did that thing right. How exciting was it to watch that Virginia Tech team?
Unc said Vandy and UVA the same school. I agree with that.
UVA,
that's hilarious.
UVA can get a lot better just because of that. You know this, Alex, because of the DMV area.
No, DMV's fire. Virginia Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, because they all those guys, but the athletes over there is what I'm saying that they can recruit from. But no, Sean, I was going to ask you. He's talking about Virginia Tech. This was right in like all of our prime, like growing up when Vic hit Virginia Tech. Was there anything more exciting than watching him in college play? I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I wish I could say I watched him. Didn't watch him at Virginia Tech. I actually watched his brother, the little Vic.
Marcus.
I watched him. That boy was out there
cold.
And it was mostly because I was playing that NCAA football at the time. And, so you got to check all the schools out.
You weren't no good at it.
Boy, well, we were top 5 in the world. Me and
Mike
Mo. Yeah. Me and Mike Mo was top 5. And that's what we did, man.
Top 5 in the world, Craig.
Top 5, Craig. And I have to admit, I played with a lot of teams, but I play with Florida here and there. But anyway, so I didn't really watch him play.
Going with Quail, man.
Well, TK, did you watch Vic in there when he made the run to the national championship game with Virginia Tech? They ended up losing to Florida State, but that dude was insane.
Yeah, bro. I remember, bro, going hamster. And then obviously you watch clips, just everything on Instagram. You watch clips of him, bro, at Virginia Tech. It was crazy what Vic did to the game, for the game. He transcended the game, I think, from the quarterback position, bro. Definitely. And then you talked about Coach Beamer. Yeah, I just remember because I grew up a Clemson fan. I remember Clemson playing Virginia Tech often. I remember going to those games with my pops and seeing Coach Beamer walk by and things like that. So yeah, he was definitely somebody I remember.
Yeah, I live in another world, and I wasn't watching none of that. I ain't going to no game, none of that. Yeah, man, I see it. All right.
It was
Shout out Pops, man. Pop.
I would say growing up in Northeast Georgia is probably different than growing up in New Jersey for sure.
Sure it was.
For sure. I did want to ask you guys, just on some news and notes. It's been a while since we've been able to. We had to skip a show after the NFL draft, had some stuff going on, but all those Georgia guys that went to the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, literally. It's like the Philadelphia Bulldogs now.
It is.
No, Sean, I mean, I know you guys were on the same team in Denver for a little while, but I mean, playing with that many guys that you played in college with, what must that experience be like for NFL players?
I mean, come on. And it's like on the same side of the ball. Like, it's totally ridiculous. I mean, it's doing a lot of the job for the team already because you're always thinking about building camaraderie with your team. And it's like, all right, well, if we start, 3 of these guys, they already played together. 4 of these guys, they played together. And they all have a chance of really playing. So, Philadelphia think they're slick. They think they're slick because I'll be right in the boardroom saying the same thing. Yep, pick him. SEC, pick him. I mean, it is what it is. And maybe I got a little bias about it, but they got some tremendous players. And I can't wait to see what they can do out there, especially if they're all out there together. Imagine that pick that they had together, all of them out there after an interception for a touchdown or something. Come on, man! I can't.
The only problem going to be you see all those jerseys behind you.
Mm-hmm.
They all gonna have the same jersey.
I know. Yeah, ain't no color to the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
DK, what are your thoughts on it?
No, bro, I mean, similar to what Noshan said. I mean, it's just super cool. Obviously, that they all get to go there. As you mentioned, I was ecstatic when I, got the call and I knew I was going to Denver. I'm sure every single one of those cats were just like, bro, like, and within the same weekend, they were probably like, bruh, like what? So, I mean, it's super cool that one, you get to play with your teammate, but Noshan mentioned that you've got that chemistry, bro. You can't. That right there is something you can't build, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. You got to talk, communicate. Those guys have been doing that and are familiar with the way that each other ticks, each other talks, each other receives criticism, things like that. So it's hats off to that Philly war room, that Philly front office, because I, like Noshan said, I think half of that work is done. If you can get those guys clicking on all cylinders, and if they can understand, step into that building and understand the dynamics of how that team and how that defense works and where they fit into it, they're going to be in the end zone all together like this, and it's going to be a fire picture.
I think the funniest thing of the draft was they, sometimes they'll record the phone calls of what's going on, like when they call. And so Howie Roseman, the EVP, he makes the picks for the Eagles. He calls Nolan Smith and says, "Man, this is crazy." He goes, "I'm a Florida Gator myself. I keep picking all you Georgia Bulldogs." And Nolan said to him, he said, "'Cause you want to win." He said, "Nolan, Nolan ain't gonna hold back. That man his personality just fills up the entire room."
I love that.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it's cool to see. They got several guys like that. JD, obviously, he fills up an entire room just himself. Yeah. But his personality too, just is big. So getting a lot of cats. I mean, they got a lot of cats there. Nakobe. It's cool.
Jermaine King says, about Nakobe. He said he thought it was funny. They show in the house of where Nolan Smith was, and you pan the camera over, and there's Nakobe Dean standing there at Nolan Smith's party it is insane. Yeah. It is insane, the connections of all that stuff. So, guys, we had a phenomenal interview with 3-time, and I'm gonna blame my research there because I looked on the internet, everything said 2 times. So I apologize to Coach. 3-time SEC Coach of the Year, Houston Nutt.
We see why. He bring it.
Y'all remember that segment that Lou Holtz used to do where he on College Football Tonight, where he'd give the pep talk, pep speech, or whatever.
He be spitting everywhere.
Man, if they brought that back with Coach Nutt, people would be like punching their TVs and stuff. Like they'd be like ready to go.
Coach Nutt, we want a little percent of what Blaine just said though, because somebody hit you up about that.
Hey,
they saw it here first, my boy.
Hey,
so
love it.
Yeah.
No doubt. Listen, he's a guy that I feel like we'll have to have him on again when the season rolls around because he just brings so much energy. So that was a great interview. Yeah, that was a great interview. We talked about Dylan Raiola. We talked about the Eagles defense. We talked about college realignment, just a little taste of what's coming on. TK and Noshawn, they're working on a couple of their former Georgia teammates in the coming weeks that are gonna join us, and we're gonna have some guests for you guys. So we're gonna have it all lined up. Yeah, I'm putting it on you. I'm putting the pressure on you now.
No pressure, bro. You see us with these hats. I didn't even know we had the same ones on. You see us?
Yeah,
we right here.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know before we got on the show, but when I popped on, I was like, bro.
All right, I felt like I was wearing the same shirt as Coach Nutt over there. We was wearing the same color over there.
We're just coordinating stuff.
All right, you got some stuff coming down the pipe. All right, I like that.
It's all good. But guys, thank you for joining us. Make sure to hit that like button. Everybody hit the like button right now while you're in here. It's free. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. There's some great content on the UGA Sports YouTube channel. And myself, Noshawn, TK, we're getting closer to the season, closer to SEC Media Days, closer to all this good stuff. We will have it all covered for you, talking SEC ball all the way throughout the season. So make sure to stay tuned here for Noshawn and TK. I am Blaine Gilmer. We will catch you guys next time on Georgia Players Section with Tavares and Noshawn on UGAsports.com.
The best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!